Hello, welcome to the Art Hitman. I'm Perry McCants, and today I'm going to show you how to draw a Slimer from the real Ghostbusters. Now let's begin. As usual, we'll divide our page in half lightly with a pencil, number 2 preferably, because you get a little darker with it, but not too dark. You don't want to have the line permanent on the page. Now for Slimer, he's the type of character that requires a bunch of arcs and circles. So I want to start by having his head up here, and he's going to be on a slant. So he's not going to be straight up and down, but he's going to be on an angle. So once you draw this circle, I want you to have a line that goes on a slant like this, because I want it to appear like in the movie The Ghostbusters that he's flying off or something like that, or he's always like running away from something. So this is your first circle. Now what I want to do is I want you to draw an arc that kind of go through that circle like this to both sides. After you've done that, put a circle here and then put a circle here. So right now essentially what we have is 1, 2, 3 circles. Now you're going to come down like this and then come down this way on the other side, and then we're going to draw one huge big round circle like this at the bottom. Okay, now we're going to put a line through here, and we're going to put a small circle here and then another one on this side. And then from here we're going to have, which is going to be his right arm, a line coming down like this and then coming up like that. Make it about even with his shoulders, just like this. Now what I'll do is I'll draw a line straight through to the other side and do the same thing for his left arm. For his hand, we're going to put a small square in, indicating his hands, and do the same thing on his left side. Another square. And then we're going to put, always use like put circles for the thumb and divide that square in half and do the same thing on the other side. Because this is establishing how you want the hand to look and where you want the thumb to be in place, and you don't forget where the thumb is supposed to go. And off of that circle, you want to put in where the end of his thumb is going to be, right there. And do the same thing for the left side. This is where you want his thumb to be, and lightly put that in. Now for his fingers, you can come up and just have a line go over here for his index finger. His middle finger is going to be bent slightly, so it's going to come forward with a little circle here. I'll let you take a look at it, pull back. And then his pinky is going to be completely bent this way. So you can draw a circle and a line like this. And we'll go back over that a little later. Repeat the same thing for his left hand. You have his index finger that comes up to, let's say, the top of the page, back down. Middle finger is going to be right here where the line is, bent slightly, and then the pinky is going to overlap that and come back down. You can come off to the side like that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get started on Slimer's face. His face is one complete shape here, which is a couple of circles. Now for his eyes, we can go ahead and put his eyes in. Make his eyes exaggerated to a certain extent. You can have it almost at the top of his head, like he's really excited. He's an excitable character, so we want that expression in there. His nose is a little button nose, so we're gonna put a little circle in there, and we'll add some detail to that later. Now he has a huge smile, so you want the outside of his cheeks to establish where his mouth, the top of his mouth, to be about here. This is where we drew the 2 circles earlier, that's indicating where his cheeks are. And we're going to put his upper lip here, just like this, and close the other side. Now for his mouth, we're going to go ahead and establish his mouth and come around, and it's going to take up almost a portion of his entire body because he has a huge mouth, and the character always usually eats a lot of food. He's always usually hungry and eating up everything in the Ghostbusters station, so we want to make him have a big mouth. Alright, so wide like that. Now, we're going to come back up to the top, and we're going to put his brow in. His brow is going to stem from the outside. We're going to add go a little darker here, and then come up around down to his nose here. And then the top of his head is going to be around, it's just a round top of the head. Just put a round arc here. And you can always use the center line as a guide to see how even the circle is. And then For the other eye, you want to come up like this and do the other side of his head. Okay. Now that we've established that, you can go ahead and you can put his eyes in, his iris, and just kind of put almost like a fright look. He's either always afraid running from something. So you put his irises in. Now, we can start to establish his nose. So for his nose, you can just have 2 indications on the outside of the button that I put in the center, and then close that. And you can round the edges off. And just above his eyes, he's got a little space here of a shadow that's almost set back in his eye sockets. So you can put a little indication there, not too much. All right. Underneath his nose, you can put a little line there for the cleft. And for the exterior, we're gonna come in off of the smile, up under his eye, and go around through the exterior of the body. So come around and establish that as you see me going in and putting the entire shape of Slimer's body in. Come to the left side and repeat the same process. We're gonna go around the shapes we established earlier in the drawing. Come in, around, and close the bottom off. Just like that. Then we're gonna come back into the inside of his mouth and we're gonna put a gum line in here. So you wanna just close this off a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm doing here with the pencil. Shade that, come to the other side and do the same thing and put his gum line in. Now when you're drawing teeth with this type of character, everything is bigger, so we can kind of establish that, and you can put a line down in the center. Now when we're putting his teeth in, we can start and count those. There's 2 big teeth up front here. So you want to go 1 and then 2. And then you bring the other tooth in. There's 2 teeth there. And they can be a little off center. Don't have to be perfectly even because Slimer has sloppy teeth. And then you want to put 4 in here. So you want to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then you go ahead and lightly put other teeth in. And they proceed back into the mouth, and you make them smaller as they go back. Do the same thing for the other side. Count them. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And do the same process for his left side. The tooth is going to overlap the cheek. Now that we have this portion of it done, we can go ahead and do the interior or inside of his mouth. So you can go ahead and have a line off of 1, 2, 3, the third tooth in between that, and come down to the bottom and stop where I have this line here. Do the same thing on this side, and then come in right here. This is the opening of the throat or the esophagus, where the tongue comes out. So we're gonna put the bottom teeth in though. So how you do that, you see this line here? I'm gonna go ahead and just put a horseshoe shape. That's what I'm gonna call it. It looks like a horseshoe. It's gonna come around, back up, and you can use the dividing line in the center. That's why I do that on not the vertical, but the diagonal one here, because you want to put the bottom row of teeth in lightly with your pencil, and then come around to the bottom of the lip here. Now the tongue's gonna come out of the back of the mouth here, so you're gonna put like an M shape here, and then let the tongue just rest right where the teeth are gonna be. Now I'm going to switch my pencil out for a minute, and I'm going to establish the bottom row teeth there. So you can put one here, a line that is, a line here, sorry about that, a line here, and do the same thing on this side. You can count it 1, 2, and then 3. By the time you get to this line, you want to establish the baby teeth in the front. So you can just have a line come around like this, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And they could be jagged, the teeth at the bottom, and you don't have to be perfect. And to sketch it in, you can kind of make the molars, which are the back teeth, put a little indentation like this and kind of put character in each tooth. You can just put little arcs in them, just like this. Not too many lines, because then it takes away from what it really looks like. And then do the same thing for the other side. Put little holes or lines in it to indicate that they're the back of the teeth in the mouth. And we're keeping it simple, so. And you can put a little indentation here off the tongue as well. Now we're gonna go to the outside of where the smile is. That extends down and around. And this is gonna be bottom of his mouth. And then come from the other side and repeat the same thing, just like this. And then he has a stomach, so we have a line here that extends around to the other side of his body. And then you have maybe one small line down here like this, because he has rolls. Now we're gonna get ready for his arms. For his arms, we're gonna come off of this like this. So he, almost like a chicken bone, has like thin, skinny, frail arms. He's not like muscular. He can change his shape, but for this particular one, this is regular Slimer. And then you wanna come down and put a line from the wrist, starting here. You can follow that. And then come around and put a little curve on it. And then establish his wrist in here like this. All right, and do the same thing for his left side. We're gonna put his shoulders in, swing around, it's like a little chicken bone. And then come in from the body around, and come from the wrist, put his forearms in. And off of this edge of this wrist, you're gonna close that forearm. Now, for his hands, we're gonna come in, and because this figure takes up most of the page, I don't need to zoom in, you can see clearer. And let's go ahead and define his hand. We can come around like this. You put a palm in, put the other side of the hand in. And as I stated earlier, we're gonna put his index finger in, bring that to a point. His middle finger is gonna be here, and it's gonna come back down like this. Add a little detail to that, so we can see it a little better now, and put his pinky in. And then close the edge of that. Do the same thing for his right side. And have the outside of his thumb come around. Put the bottom of his hand in, put the palm in, come over. Establish his index finger. When we redefined it, that is. Come over with the center or the middle finger. Bring that knuckle in. Let's close this part off here. And then we're going to go ahead and put the rest of that pinky in. Close this part off. Now, if you've drawn along with me up to this point, you've just completely sketched in Slimer from the real Ghostbusters. Now I'm going to erase the lines and make it all nice and neat. And when I get finished with it, you can pause it at the end and take a look at it.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by clicking this round button at the bottom. Also, click one of the two videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you.
The Art Hitman.